Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so you can keep up with the latest videos. Now this video is about how to raise confident performers and especially sports performers and athletes. Now one of the things I want to address with parents is that you need to remember that you're not raising a child, you're raising an adult. The reason why I say that is because a lot of the times as parents we think that, oh, we are the adults and our child is a child, so we have to be more understanding and do everything for them, and that's one of the reasons why we don't expect them to do chores at home. We excuse a lot of their behaviors, which may not be excusable, once they're a little bit older than the age that they're at. Now, when you are raising your children to be more confident, it's extremely important to make sure that you allow them and give them opportunities to do simple things like eating their food, serving their food for themselves, picking up their plates off the dining table, helping you in little tasks at home, and you cheer them on for that because that kind of independence is needed for that child. And if they are not able to do those small things and feel confident when it comes to bigger decisions, especially when it comes to performance and sports, whether that's performance in singing, dancing, music, or whether that's performance in a sport like football, cricket, any sport. So what you want to do is you want to make sure they're able to do simple things more easily and that they feel confident doing it and that they know how to repeat tasks in order to get that task right. Now, a lot of the times when you give them little tasks like, oh, pick up your plate and, leave it on the sink, or pick up your plate and rinse it, very simple things. And you can do this at the age of like 7, 8, when they're 7, 8 years old. When you do those things for them at the beginning, of course, they're not going to get it right. And that's okay as well, because you will have to probably teach them 3 to 4 times for them to get it right. And when they do, you need to appreciate them because that will boost their confidence. And then they want to do other things to get your validation on, oh, see, mommy, daddy, I've done this. So teaching your child to do basic chores and helping them to feel that they are independent, is extremely important. Now, the second question that I generally have from parents is, at what age do you teach your child to do their own chores? Now, this question is quite a difficult one because when I was a child, my parents made us do chores since the age of 4 or 5. We had to pick up our toys, we had to help, set the table and do those little things, fold our clothes, those kind of things. And 4 or 5 is, some people would say, is very young. But in reality, a child can learn whatever you teach them. So from the age where they are able to do certain things, if they are able to do that, it's very important that you make them do it. So, for example, if you think that your 9 or 10-year-old can, chop fruits and vegetables, it's important to teach them that because they have the ability to do that. They have the sense that this is a sharp knife, and they have the ability to do that. So teach them that. When they're younger, like, when they're 4 or 5 years old, things like cleaning your toys, making sure you always do your homework or some form of academic work before you get rewarded, making sure that you're eating on your own and you pick up your plate and you help mum and dad to set the table and doing those little things. Emptying your tiffin box is one of those things every single day, helping to load the dishwasher every single day. So those are the kind of things you want to teach your child. And please do not think that, oh, now they're children, they have to do this for the rest of their lives, so we'll just do it for them. Because when they come to that age of about 12, 13, when you start expecting them to do it because you suddenly think they're old enough, they're going to not know how to do it because they've never been taught how to do it. So please don't think that, oh, my child is just a child and they have to have fun and, that's going to take away from their time. Yes, they will have fun, but they can first do their chores, complete those little tasks, and then have as much fun as they want. There is no boundaries to how much fun they can have after that and how long they can play once they've done their chores. So just make sure you teach your child those things and you make them as independent as possible, because once they hit that age where you expect them to do those things and they're not able to do it, it's because they've not been taught to do those things. So it's important to teach your child as much as you can while they're young, especially basic skills like making a sandwich, cooking, cleaning after themselves, showering on their own, and doing those basic things. Now, one of the reasons why I say this is because when your child becomes an athlete, whether that's at a professional level or higher level, they are going to have to go to camps and training camps and live away from home on their own. I had to do that when I was 12 and a half, and I was able to do that with a lot of struggle, but able to do that because my parents would make me do those chores and, help me to become independent. So your child is going to have to do that, and you're going to have to let go of your child and let them face those struggles in order to stay away from home and do those things. A lot of children who are athletes do live at boarding school as well, and they have to do everything on their own out there. So if you do think that your child wants to become an athlete at a professional level or wants to compete at a high level and has that potential, teach them the basics first. It also helps with their decision making. So for example, if you ask your child, can you do this and that, after some time they're going to know the sequence of chores that need to be done, and they're making those decisions themselves. And decision making is a skill that needs to be learned off the field in order for them to then apply it on the field confidently. So that's one of the things. And that brings me to my third point, which is what happens off the field often will show on the field or on the court in their game. So if they're not confident doing those basic things until they're like, 11 to 12 years old, and they struggle with, basic tasks, that will show within their confidence in the sport when they're performing, because they're not used to making their own decisions. They're always being told what to do. And one of the ways in which you can make your child independent and make them feel confident in making those good decisions is to question them. So the best thing to do when your child makes a mistake or doesn't do something you expect them to do is to ask them, do you think that was a good choice? What happens as a consequence of the choice you've made? What kind of choice you could have made instead? And these might sound like very obvious questions for them, but it's extremely important to ask the question rather than tell them what to do, because that is what they will expect you or their coach to do when they're on the field or on the court, to be told what to do. And if you keep telling them what to do, they're never going to be able to make their decisions by themselves. And when they can make simple decisions on how to, have a routine in your day, what chores to do first, how to do them, and that proactiveness, or, when they take initiative to be independent and do something independently, you've got to appreciate that, because that's the same behavior that they will show on the court or on the field. And it's extremely important that you make them feel confident when they're learning new skills, and appreciating them for taking initiative rather than criticize them, even when they get things wrong. And when they do get things wrong, it's extremely important to question rather than give them the answer straight away, because you need to understand that your child is going to be different from you, and the way they think is going to be very different from you. And they don't have to think the way you think. They don't have to find solutions the way you find solutions. They can be a completely different individual from you, and that's completely fine. So it's important to give them the space to answer those questions and to understand what they're thinking and why they do the things they do. Now, I hope this video has been helpful. If you are a parent and if you have any questions, concerns, please do write to me. My email address and my website is down in the link below in the description box. If you have any other comments, please do let me know. I hope this video has been helpful. Take care of yourself, and goodbye.